music you should listen to.
Arctic Monkeys?
Yes.
Excellent.
But
next question.
Not that.
Okay.
AlunaGeorge. They're a pretty cool new band. It's one
The name
dude.
is interesting.
Anyways, cool music. It's a little, I don't know how to describe it. Electronic-y, maybe?
Okay.
Hard to say. She's a really good singer, though. And easy on the eyes. And he looks kind of nerdy. New album coming out. Can't wait.
Cool.
That sounds awesome. Arctic Monkeys have a new album coming out, too.
Nice. I think I do need to broaden my musical from this millennia. The
thing is, with Arctic Monkeys, it's the same style of music you like.
Yeah. That's what I'm really like. The music that I have come across from, say, the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Percentage that I have enjoyed, I'm going like 10.
Oh yeah.
It's not good. You go outside of 90s music, which was just 90s music was what 90s music was.
It was different.
It was totally a product of its time and the generation that it was from, which you can say for any music.
There were so many genres in the 90s, too.
That's and not all of them were good.
Not all of them, no.
There were, like, the grunge thing was the predominant thing. Rock kind of...
That was the prominent early 90s.
Rock kind of, stepped back a little bit.
Yeah. Late 90s was all boy bands, girl bands.
You had rock with its little tiny bit in the middle there after the grunge kind of dipped away.
Yeah.
But... You look at 80s, 70s, 60s, there are so many bands and songs and that out of those 30 years that I can find enjoyment out of.
Yeah.
Things from the 90s and the 2000s. Like, I know there's a decade missing. I only have 20 years versus 30 years. I'm not 50.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's more music out of those 30 vastly greater numbers of music that I enjoy out of those 30 years than there are out of the 20.
That's the thing, though. There is a lot of great music, and it's an opinion.
Yeah.
Like, for me...
I'm not saying that all the other music is garbage,
No.
but for my taste, there's like far more from that 3 decades than the 2 and starting 3rd decade we're in now.
See, now for me...
It's getting better,
what I listen to today, the last... 6 to 8 years, I would rather listen to anything from that than anything else lately.
Yeah, again, it's getting better.
So, for instance, like I love all music. I love Bing Crosby. I love Nat King Cole. I love classic country music like Johnny Cash and Jim Reeves. I love Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. I love the Bee Gees. I love Elvis. I love bands from every era.
Perry Como.
I like Perry Como. Yeah, I like music from every decade. I have no qualms or whatever. I love it all. But just for whatever reason, lately I'd rather listen to stuff in the past 5 years than anything else at the moment because it just seems so fresh and so new, and a lot of it is actually pretty genius. Like if you take the time to actually listen to it. Like, sit down, don't do anything else, and listen to the song. Like AlunaGeorge, I mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of it, it's not like AC/DC or Guns N' Roses where it's background to whatever you've got going on.
Now, you can listen to it in the background, but if you take the time to actually listen, you hear a lot of stuff in it, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, Arctic Monkeys is really good. AlunaGeorge, really good. Miles Kane, very good. There's just so much.
I find I like to do that. If I discover a band I really like, I'll sit down and just hang out at my house listening to it. Like when after I first got exposed to Florence and the Machine was when I saw U2 down in Michigan Stadium a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was the first big outdoor stadium concert I had seen. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Florence and the Machine opened for them. They weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
It was like a last minute sub, and I'm like,
they're
damn,
amazing.
she's really, really good.
Exactly.
So I started listening to some of their stuff, and Florence Welch is amazing. She's a great
powerful singer.
Yeah. So I listened to their stuff, and I enjoy listening to it background style now, but I had listened to it previous, so I can still enjoy it. But I think I'd have a harder time going about listening to it if I was doing other things than if I just sat and listened to it.
The other thing too is we've had a British invasion the last 6 years or so.
In a lot of fields, actually, like
Like
yeah,
Arctic
TV,
Monkeys,
film, music.
Yeah.
It's been going on. Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys are British. Adele, Florence and the Machine. Ellie Goulding is really huge right now, and her music is fantastic. Who else? There's lots. One Direction, even. New boy band, but they're the only British artist to have a #1 debut in North America ever.
Wow.
The only British band. The Beatles couldn't do it. Zeppelin didn't do it. No other band has done it except for them. It's quite a feat. I mean, you gotta give them props. I mean, they're a boy band. And this really, there's so much music out there right now. Boy bands
Again,
are just a
sales
tiny
and
bit.
that, it's so, I'm trying to compare back then to now. There's so many more avenues for people to buy.
Well, that's the
and
thing. They
purchase things.
combined it all.
Yeah.
It's digital. It's physical.
If it were
it's
just
everything.
physical copies of their album,
it
I
may
don't
not
think
have.
it's been that big.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain if iTunes were around when Zeppelin and the Beatles were out, it would have been astronomical.
Yeah.
Like,
So hard to say, but that's the thing. It debuted at #1. The Beatles sold a shit ton when they came out,
yeah.
but they didn't debut at #1. That's the difference. The Bee Gees never debuted at #1. No other British band has done that except for them. Not even Adele. And Adele's pretty friggin' huge. Her album was on the top 10 for 2 years in the States.
I'm glad she's kind of rolled back her schedule and
Well, she's
how
writing a
she
new album
sings.
right now, and
she was gonna wreck her voice.
yeah. Well, actually, she had problems because she was a smoker, drinker. She liked spicy foods, and she was ruining her voice. Doctor basically said, and she lost her voice for a bit. Doctor said,
Did she have a surgery or something?
Yeah.
Did she? Yeah.
He's like, you gotta stop smoking. You gotta stop the heavy drinking. You gotta stop eating the spicy foods and all this stuff. Otherwise, your voice is gone. Yeah. Like, you won't be able to do what you're doing.
I love how her and Taylor Swift are the same age.
I know, eh?
Like, look at the contrast. They're the same age. One is a mother and an Oscar winner.
Mm-hmm.
The other is Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Taylor Swift's doing really well, though.
Yeah,
really
but
well.
for various different reasons.
Different reasons. And
It's
a totally different style of music.
Adele, I'm talking like in
I know.
social view.
Yeah.
Like, Adele isn't the punchline of many jokes that I know of.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I like the Wombats. I like the Stripes. They're a new band. They're really good. I like.
What color are these stripes? Are they white stripes?
No,
no,
I don't think they are.
I miss that band so much.
Yeah, never coming back.
I know. I was very thankful I got to see one of their last concerts, though.
Yeah.
They played our hometown arena, and I saw them in concert, and I think like 2 months later they quit because of, I think they said Meg's distress over her alleged adult tape.
Yeah, and it wasn't her anyways.
If it wasn't her, what stress is there?
I know, exactly.
So like, was that?
I think it was just an out.
Was that the straw? Yeah, it was like, I'm done.
Just an out. Yeah.
No, I really miss that band. I know Jack's done a lot of other stuff, and for some reason, I haven't listened to too much of his solo work.
It's not bad. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah.
I just love the blues, jazzy, rock stuff that he puts in, and his lyrics are fantastic, and just some of the cool.
If you like that stuff, Black Keys,
Yeah.
good stuff. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, mentioned before, is good. There's so much out there now. It's unreal.
I definitely do gotta try and catch up on some of the newer, moderner stuff. But again, I'll always like my 60s, 70s, and 80s stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll always like what I like.
Yeah.
Like, I like Bing Crosby. I'll throw it on once in a while.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but if I'm in that kind of mood, that's what I'll listen to.